21.4 Central Neural System. The brain is the central information processing organ of our body and acts as the command and control system. It controls the voluntary movements, balance of the body, functioning of vital involuntary organs, example lungs, heart, kidneys, etc., thermoregulation, hunger and thirst, circadian 24-hour rhythms of our body, activities of several endocrine glands, and human behavior. It is also the site of processing of vision, hearing, speech, memory, intelligence, emotions, and thoughts. The human brain is well protected by the skull. Inside the skull, the brain is covered by cranial meninges consisting of an outer layer called dura mater, a very thin middle layer called arachnoid, and an inner layer which is in contact with the brain tissue called pia mater. The brain can be divided into three major parts. First, forebrain, second, midbrain, and third, hindbrain. Figure 21.4. 21.4.1 Forebrain. The forebrain consists of cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Figure 21.4. Cerebrum forms the major part of the human brain. A deep cleft divides the cerebrum longitudinally into two halves, which are termed as the left and right cerebral hemisphere. The hemispheres are connected by a tract of nerve fibers called corpus callosum. The layer cells which covers the cerebral hemisphere is called cerebral cortex and is thrown into prominent folds. The cerebral cortex is referred to as the grey matter due to its greyish appearance. The neuron cell bodies are concentrated here, giving the color. The cerebral cortex contains motor areas, sensory areas, and large regions that are neither clearly sensory nor motor in function. These regions, called as association areas, are responsible for complex functions like intersensory associations, memory, and communication. Fibers of the tract are covered with the myelin sheath, which constitute the inner part of cerebral hemisphere. They give an opaque white appearance to the layer and hence is called the white matter. The cerebrum wraps around a structure called thalamus, which is a major coordinating center for sensory and motor signaling. Another very important part of the brain, called hypothalamus, lies at the base of the thalamus. The hypothalamus contains a number of centers which control body temperature, urge of eating, and drinking. It also contains several groups of neurosensory cells which secrete hormones called hypothalamic hormones. The inner part of the cerebral hemisphere and a group of associated deep structures like amygdala, hippocampus, etc. forms a complex structure called the limbic knob or limbic system. Along with the hypothalamus, it is involved in the regulation of sexual behavior, expression of emotional reactions, example, excitement, pleasure, rage, and fear, and motivation. 21.4.2 Midbrain. The midbrain is located between the thalamus, hypothalamus of the forebrain and pons of the hindbrain. A canal called the cerebral aqueduct passes through the midbrain. The dorsal portion of the midbrain consists mainly of four round swellings, lobes, called corpora quadrigemina. 21.4.3 Hindbrain. The hindbrain comprises pons, cerebellum, and medulla, also called the medulla oblongata. Pons consist of fiber tracts that interconnect different regions of the brain. Cerebellum has very convoluted surface in order to provide the additional space for many more neurons. The medulla of the brain is connected to the spinal cord. The medulla contains centers which control respiration, cardiovascular reflexes, and gastric secretions. Three major regions make up the brain stem, midbrain, bone, and medulla oblongata. Brain stem forms the connections between the brain and spinal cord.